Hellhouse, Lineage. This comes after the Carmichael film, and it's another entry to the series, but it is a grave departure from what we're used to. I did not see any trailers going into this. All I saw was Shudder. Hey, October 31st, we're releasing a new film. Hellhouse is going to add to the series, so I was very excited for it. Now, I must say, from the standpoint of horror and horror elements, if it was named anything else, yes, I fucks with it. It's a great film. Recommend that you see it. But from the standpoint of a Hell House film, it does miss the mark, because like, yes, you have the Abaddon Hotel, you do have like the back and forth with the future and stuff like that. But a key element of these films is found footage. It is a staple of the found footage genre, and this film does not have found footage. It's told from the perspective of a regular film. And I know what you're thinking. It's like, hey, why would you judge so harshly from that? Because like, I hate when you have a series of films or a franchise and it does something that's a grave departure. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It depends what you're looking for that day, right? So I give you examples. If you talk about God of War series, right, and how they revamped it and they did like a camera over the shoulder instead of this hack and slash that you're used to. Okay, that's revolutionary, right? Or if you think about, trying to think of like another property that like it did something one way and then it just did something completely different. There was a film in mind, but I can't remember off the top of my head, but I just felt like with this property, it was just, Thor, yes, it was. The first two Thor films, Thor and then Thor Dark World, and even you can argue the fourth one had like a serious tone to it. And then you had Thor Ragnarok, which is all this giggity shit, and it was very random, and it was very MCU at the MCU-y, and I didn't like that film. I saw it twice. Now, if you say like, okay, Thor Ragnarok and it was called something else, okay, but the audience has certain expectations when you see something. You just can't slap the title of something on it and say like, okay, this is to the Lord. That doesn't really work, you know, unless people really just don't care about the source material. It wasn't very true to the franchise, but then at the same time, if I get over my high horse and I say, okay, it doesn't include found footage. It does include found footage. Maybe like one shot here or there, but most of it is turned in the sense of a traditional film. Then I can be like, okay, objectively, it is a solid film. Especially how the Carmichael, it functions in a way, or the Abaddon Hotel, because they do various locations, is that it manifests differently and it has the overlapping of time periods. But what is consistent is that clown. And the clown in this film, even though you can argue like, as I get older, I get scared by less things, I felt like this film did it injustice in the sense that there's a certain mystique about the clown when it's a found footage film, because not that it's a jump scare, but it appears, it's very on edgy and stuff like that. You don't see it move in the previous films. You just see it there, and then it's like, okay, right? This one, you see a lot of it behind the curtain. There's not any jump scares. It literally tells you what's about to happen within the context of the film, and then it executes on that, right? I think it was like, it kind of reminds me of that phenomenon with Netflix content, and they said that a lot of content that they make is the anticipation that people are looking at their phone screens while watching a movie, and so maybe they over the head with the dialogue. I do feel like there was a lot of exposition, but I do appreciate that it does carry the story along, and we get a little bit of urgent, or we get a little bit of overlap of why certain things happen, right? And then also the reappearance of some characters in previous films and trying to give a backdrop of that, right? Now, I still think it could have been done doing it with a found footage type of feel of it. To just abandon it, if it feels disingenuous, it definitely puts a sour taste in my mouth. But again, I will say, objectively, it is a great film. It does have those scares, it does have the momentum, it does do a great job of world building. However, I do hate that it does include wide shots, and I do hate that it's not very genuine to the franchise and what I was anticipating in a found footage film. It is a regular cut by throat horror film, but I do appreciate that it builds on the mythos, right? That concludes my review. Like, comment. Do you agree with my review? Have you seen the film? Do you like it that it's no longer a found footage series and it just revamped itself? Do you believe that the execution of that was great? Do you disagree? Will you do something differently? I want to hear your thoughts. Comment down below. And since you made it to the end of the video, you might as well subscribe. But as always, jarritos are on me. Ciao.